The O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 15 years and counting.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Factor follow-up segment tonight. Hillary Clinton using the Planned Parenthood controversy about selling body parts of dead babies to reignite the war on women.
Republicans like Scott Walker and Jeb Bush are calling to defund Planned Parenthood, the country's leading provider of reproductive health care. And they are joined by Republicans in Congress. If this feels like a full-on assault on women's health, that's because it is. When they attack women's health, they attack America's health, and it's wrong. And we're not going to let them get away with it. We're not going back.
Joining us now from Washington, Katie Pavlich, author of the book Assault and Flattery, The Truth About the Left and Their War on Women. And here in New York City, Kennedy, host of her own program on the Fox Business Network at 8 p.m. each night. And you say?
I say the war on women actually doesn't work. It's not as effective when it's coming from a woman. And also you have to realize that this is 2015. It's not 2008. It's not 2012. And I think a lot of this is going to fall flat because people realize that she's trying to take a simple wedge issue and shove it under a very complex umbrella of women's health.
Do you subscribe to the war on women in general?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And I think if
so nobody is waging war on you, Kennedy.
No, I'm more worried about the war on individual liberty.
Okay. How about you, Katie? Now, Mrs. Clinton, as you saw in this video, this was a slickly packaged video distributed to play on the media, and we gave her free airtime. Don't write me a letter, you guys, telling me that this is news, all right? It's what I do. But she doesn't mention anything about the sale of body parts. That's totally deceptive, correct?
Right. Well, and the other thing that's extremely deceptive is that she acts like it's just Jeb Bush and Scott Walker who want to defund Planned Parenthood when it's GOP presidential candidate Carly Fiorina who also wants to defund Planned Parenthood, including Republican congresswomen who just on the Hill just now voted or who will vote and also support defunding Planned Parenthood. So that's disingenuous. But in terms of whether this works, look, it all depends on how Republicans respond to it. It worked in 2012 because Mitt Romney wasn't willing to respond to the disingenuous arguments were being made.
How do you respond, though? Say you were running for president and you heard this ad, which is obviously deceptive, and I'm not saying that in any partisan way. I mean, she's taking an issue, the sale of body parts of babies or fetuses, depending on your belief system, totally ignoring that, doesn't mention it, and then makes it like Bush and Walker out of nowhere want to punish Planned Parenthood, this very benign organization. I mean, talk about propaganda. Right. This is up there.
Well, it's not even just punishing Planned Parenthood, Bill. It's about punishing American women. The Republican Party has a long history, according to the liberal Democrats, of hating women and wanting to take away their health care. But in terms of the question you asked about how do Republicans respond to this, Republicans in the 2014 midterm elections, the left tried to use the war on women argument, specifically in Colorado, and they lost because Republicans actually had solutions and responses to the left's accusations,
okay,
for example.
I want you to, I'm going to come back to you, just give it a thought. If you're a candidate, like Carly Fiorina is a candidate, how do you, Kennedy, respond to this ad?
Well, if I'm Carly Fiorina, I talk about my own women's health issues. I talk about my own reproductive cancers and saying, I love women so much, I want to make sure that if any of this health care is within the purview of the government, that we put it toward the right place, which is saving lives. And we also, we love women and we love babies. You can say that and frame it in a positive sense.
Here's what I would say if I were Carly Fiorina, which is possible now in the medical line.
God bless America.
Like that. But I would say, you know, Hillary Clinton's being deceptive again. Hillary Clinton's not telling you the truth. Hillary Clinton's taking this whole issue out of context because she doesn't even mention the baby sale of body parts. And I mean, I go right after her.
And that's offensive. It's offensive to voters. It's offensive to independents. It's okay to be disgusted by those videos. It really is. It's okay to move the debate in an evolved direction.
What would you reply, Katie, to Mrs. Clinton?
Or here's a dirty little secret that most people don't know about the American public. If you look at polling, the American public is outraged over late-term abortion. The majority of people actually support a ban on a 5 months abortion, late-term abortion. The majority of women in this country support heavy restrictions on late-term abortion. So that's the first thing that I would point out. And the second thing, too, I think that's a really good strategy to say, look, Hillary Clinton has a history of being deceptive in every single area of her political career, and this is exactly what we have to do going forward.
All right, ladies, very good. Thank you very much.